Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Data Visual, welcome to the Expand Your Digital Signage Business webinar with Amazon Signage and Carousel. I'd like to introduce our speakers, York Kislish Lemire, COO and VP of Sales at Data Visual, Alex Gu, Executive Business Development Manager at Amazon Signage, and Chris Brahma, Senior Vice President of Partnerships and Channels at Carousel, who will be guiding us through today's presentation. Before we start, if you have any questions, please use the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. All questions will be answered during the Q&A at the end. York, over to you.
Awesome. And I just want to give a quick thank you to Alex and Chris for taking the time for this presentation, but also all the prep work. Really appreciate it and really looking forward to this webinar. Off to you, Alex.
Cool. Thanks, York. Hi, everybody. My name is Alex. I've been with Amazon for over 10 years. I've had the opportunity to help the company launch multiple different business ventures and projects, and Amazon Signage is one of the latest projects that the company has launched. I just want to take a moment to thank York and the Data Visual team for having us here, and also the Carousel team for the partnership as well. So I think when I tell people that Amazon has gone into digital signage, it's always an odd concept. But if you take a step back, it might not be as surprising. Amazon as a company is notoriously known for taking our own use cases, applying ideal solutions, and then bringing it to the external market. And that's exactly what happened with our venture in the digital signage as well. So our digital signage venture started with our own internal use cases. As you can imagine, Amazon is a pretty large company, and we have a lot of different environments where there is an opportunity to modernize communication. So in 2022, the Amazon Devices team was approached by our internal teams across the warehouse space, across Whole Foods, Amazon Fresh, some of our physical retail stores, to modernize their communication within their buildings and bring on digital signage. So as we were going through the exercise of actually trying to figure out the right ways to deploy digital signage, we ran into a lot of issues that we found that existing customers today also face. So for example, commercial grade hardware within the space is extremely expensive. They're very hard to manage. They're complex to set up. There's no easy way to get a large fleet of devices going at once. And it's not something that our warehouse managers or store managers could have easily managed on their own without us investing into additional IT resources. In addition to that, it was extremely difficult to procure. We couldn't get the devices very, very easily, and there were super long lead times as well for scalable deployments. So from all of those challenges, we decided that we will create our own solution to kind of solve for these pain points. So we started going on a journey of developing our own solution, and what we really wanted to achieve here was a solution that was simple and reliable. And from the simplicity and reliability standpoint, it will also allow for scaling to happen in that particular space. And the other key point here is we didn't want to overcomplicate the hardware, because a lot of digital signage use cases are relatively simplistic in nature. So we want to make sure whatever solution that we came up with was also extremely affordable. The mindset that we had in this moment was we want to make sure that we're maximizing our return on investment, right? Anybody who's looking to deploy digital signage and modernize their communication methodologies is really trying to speak to their staff or their customers in a more connected way. And in turn, that infrastructure should drive additional benefits as well. So to maximize that return on investment, we highly believe that we have to lower the total cost of ownership. And that means making the device simple and reliable. So from there, in 2022, 2023 timeframe, we launched the Amazon Signage Stick. So this is the current product that Amazon is using internally across our Whole Foods, Amazon Fresh stores. It's utilized in our warehouses as well for employee communication, as well as our corporate offices. So if you take a look at some of these specs, it's going to be very similar and in line with some of the competitors out there today, but it's at a fraction of that cost. So this device was utilized throughout all of the Amazon environments now. So you're talking about tens of thousands of devices that was deployed in a very short period of time and utilized for the last about 4 years or so. And once we've deployed it internally at that scale, we decided that this was something that external customers needed as well. Everybody's looking to modernize communication today. So in 2024, at the end of 2024, we hardened the product a bit more, enhanced some of the software capabilities on it, and then launched it for external customers to get access to as well. So in 2024, it was only available in the US, and about a month ago, it's available in Europe and Canada as well now. So um, in addition to the hardware itself, we launched a few different software capabilities on it. So for example, it comes with a free management console where integrators and customers who are managing large fleets can take advantage of it. It also has a free companion app as well, where you can manage the device remotely, but also set up hundreds of devices at once if you needed to do a large scale deployment. So overall, the device itself is built for scalability, and it really embodied the reliability mental model that we had at the conceptualization of this product. So taking a deeper look into the device itself, the setup process is very much so inspired by our experience when it comes to consumer products, right? So the setup is very, very straightforward. If you're doing it manually with a remote controller, it can be completed within 5 minutes from anybody that did not have IT experience. So what we really wanted to accomplish here is that a store manager can go in and set this up, or a school attendant or teacher can go in and set this up without needing actual IT experience. And we're making an assumption that all of them are relatively familiar with at least how consumer products are set up. So the setup process is seamless, it's very smooth. But in addition to that, we also want to make sure we're creating features that are relevant for integrators and dealers who are deploying hundreds of devices at once. So that's where a mobile application kind of comes into play, where with a few clicks of a button, you can actually set up hundreds of devices at once for those deployments, and also remotely manage them as well. From a software perspective, we are software agnostic. So what we really care about is being that reliable, sustainable hardware infrastructure for our end customers and integrators. From a software perspective, we know there's tons of innovations out there, tons of software partners who can do it much better than we can, right? So we lean in on them and act as that infrastructure layer that they can rely on as well. So we currently have more than 75 content management partners onboarded, and some of the top ones like Carousel are ones that we highly recommend to customers that are looking to scale with our solution too. So this has allowed us to help customers out where they can actually pick and choose the software that they want to leverage, but not necessarily have to invest into additional hardware infrastructure where they're swapping out different software options as their business changes. And taking a deeper look into the companion application. So we have a web console. In the web console, it's very much of a mindset of fleet management. So there's remote management capabilities built into it. In addition to that, you can also see a set of devices, their locations. In addition to that, also the device information, the DSNs and other capabilities within it too. For our software, for our Signage mobile application itself, like I talked about earlier, there's a lot of bulk management capabilities as well, but also bulk provisioning too. And all of these features are constantly being enhanced, and we're very open to customer feedback on what feature set to kind of develop next. So in the most recent case, we're starting to launch AI features in relation to the companion applications, both on the desktop and the mobile app, to help our customers with setup even further in AI age. But we're very, very open to feedback from both integrators and customers, partners, and we actively put those onto our roadmap. Another point that I want to highlight here is something that we invested heavily into this year. Our concept here is, because we're the infrastructure layer for our software partners like Carousel, we want to make sure that they can actually have access to control the devices through their portals as well. This was very, very important for us for two reasons. Number one, it makes things easier for end customers. So for example, let's say you're using Carousel today, you're already leveraging them to manage your content. So when Carousel integrates into our APIs, which they already have, you can also manage the devices from that same exact console. So not only can you change the content within the Carousel portal, but you can also reboot the device, take a screenshot of what's playing on the screen, all from one location. So from a customer or a integrator perspective, you're not hopping in between multiple portals at that point. And the second thing is, we want to make sure we're very partner friendly. Because what we found, at least in the hardware market, is there's a lot of lockdown hardware where partners have a hard time integrating into or making innovations on top of we did not want to be that kind of hardware partner because we don't think innovation should be stifled from a control perspective, right? So we want to make sure that we're investing at least to make it easy for our software partners to build capabilities on top of our hardware to ultimately add more value to the end customers. And going back into it again, the earlier concept of maximizing the return on investments, reducing total cost. That can both be hardware driven and software driven from these applications. So from a product concept standpoint, the Amazon Signage Stick embodies the traditional Amazon product principles where we launch with sustainability in mind. But in addition to that, we know that this product is not B2C facing, it's a B2B commercial grade media player. So we need to make sure that it's also 24/7, operational 24/7. So it is graded for 24/7 continuous operations. In addition to that, we've also enhanced some of the security features in it as well. For example, with automatic malware detection. So in enterprise environments, customers can have confidence that the device will be secure. And in addition to that, we're also seeking industry recognized certifications like a SOC 2 certification that's currently in progress. But the other thing I want to take away from this too is from a support standpoint, not just from a hardware and a software standpoint, but from a business model and a support standpoint, we've also invested and leaned into that space as well. Because we know businesses run fast, especially digital signage. Some people might not think it's mission critical, but it is a mission critical infrastructure for a lot of our customers out there. So we want to make sure we have live and active support for both of our dealers, integrators, and our end customers as well that can easily be reached. So at the end of this presentation here, you'll be able to see some of the resources that's available to you guys and how to actually access them. But it is available for everybody and it's extremely accessible. So all that being said, since the launch of the product in 2024, we're proud to say that to date, we're serving over 10,000 businesses in the US across multiple different use cases. And that's not surprising considering how simplistic the design and implementation of the product is, but it also goes to show how important digital signage is across all these different verticals and industries, right? So the 4 that you currently see on the screen are just ones that have adopted the signage stick the quickest so far, but we do have deployments across pretty much every single vertical that you can kind of think of. So this introduces very good opportunities for at least for your teams to kind of think through what deals can you open, what new opportunities can you explore, right? And we're also happy to help ideate some of those with you guys as well. But we have found so far a use case in at least every single vertical. And to close my section out, this is a case study of one of our top customers in the US. It's a higher education customer, University of Utah, who have about 500 to 700 of these devices deployed throughout their campus for various use cases from wayfinding to stadiums to advertising, etc. We have a lot of these case studies available if your sales team need it, if you guys need it in general, just for inspiration on what kind of deals and what kind of use cases the Signage Stick is a fit for. But this is readily available, so you guys can reach out to us anytime and we'll be more than happy to provide some of that content for you. And with that being said, I'm going to pass it to Chris, our partner at Carousel. And again, Carousel is one of the most integrated partners that we currently have out of all of the software partners that we have today, and one that we often recommend for customers who are looking to scale.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Alex. Very happy to be here. Quick background on Carousel. We've been around for a little over 30 years. That's right. You heard that correct. We were doing digital signage before it was called digital signage. We only make content management software, and it's really designed to help for scaled deployments. So multi-location, multi-building scaled deployments. And for the better part of 2 decades now, we have partnered with Data Visual to support the Canadian market. We're pretty excited about this opportunity to talk about the benefits of the Amazon Signage Stick and what that can do to your business. So if we can move into the next slide here, we're just going to highlight some of these key reasons why, from our perspective at Carousel, why this is a valuable capability for resellers to consider. So first and foremost, we're able to address 90% of the most common digital signage use cases that your customers are looking to deploy. Second, you can deploy with confidence in Canada. We have a dedicated AWS instance in Canada for Carousel. So we will meet all compliance requirements that you're going to get asked for your government publicly facing clients. Second, I'm really proud of the work that our teams have done together from an engineering standpoint. We work very closely with Amazon to create a really turnkey solution for you and your end customers. So you have a really simplistic, easy to set up, configure, deploy, ongoing management, and ultimately easy to publish content into your clients' environments. One thing that really has stood out to us is the fact that we can deploy 10, 100, or 1,000 Amazon sign-in sticks. And in today's environment, it's very powerful when you can know that those devices are going to ship. And that gives you some peace of mind that I think is definitely lacking in today's environment. It's very unpredictable. So we really do appreciate that. Lastly here, and I think this is really important for everyone's pipelines and the business motions that we're running together to help support our clients, is just finding ways to accelerate that conversation, accelerate the pipeline for projects that may be stuck and just really need that extra oomph to keep them going and be on time, on budget. So one customer example that I just want to highlight, we were jointly working on a very large auto dealership deployment. They had 150 existing system on a chip displays, and they were looking to modernize their solution set, standardize on a new CMS. So Carousel, after we met with them, was scoped in. It was a good fit. However, we uncovered that half of those displays were too old to run a modern CMS. It put the client in a very difficult situation, such that they actually put the whole project on pause. They were not going to move forward with it because of the cost of a complete refresh, which they were not expecting to do. But because of the Amazon signage sticks, cost effectiveness, ability to be deployed at scale, the client was happy with that. They were able to move forward with this project in this fiscal year. They made that purchase. They made it on time, on budget, and they are now actively engaging their clients in their showrooms. And I think that just illustrates how powerful this solution is in moving stalled projects forward. So just to close this out before we move into QA, what can you expect if you do find a signage project and you reach out and you engage Data Visual and Carousel and Amazon? From the Carousel perspective, you can know that our team with 30 years of experience is going to support your group through that quoting process, demo process, scoping, responding to emails, whatever comes up through that signage journey. We're here to help support you and make you look great. Post sale, we have a dedicated team that is completely focused to supporting the renewals motion tied to digital signage deployments. We hold a 93% customer retention rate, and that's really important because it's not just about winning that project when we first get deployed. It's keeping that client successful over time, helping them expand and helping them renew. I do believe we have one of the best channel-focused renewals team. And I just want to highlight that just so that you know, you never have to go and chase paperwork when it comes to a renewal. Carousel will proactively work with your teams to get that renewal in on time. I think just to close this out before we switch to the QA, I just want to encourage everybody, if you do have projects that are getting stalled for whatever the constraints are, whatever the reasons are, this is a really powerful capability that I'd encourage you to consider bringing to your customers. So that's what I have, and thank you very much. I'll pass this back to York.
Thanks, Chris. Again, I think the big thing to take away from this, right, is the simplicity, right? Simple hardware. And then you take that on with a simple CMS experience with Carousel, as well as the renewals. And then we make it easy with stock in both Ottawa and Calgary that you can get next day. It really provides the opportunity to sell digital signage at a price point and performance level that wasn't possible before. And you can do that quickly. So again, why this really matters for our partners is, number one, lower total cost of ownership for a commercial grade solution that's going to help push deals through, especially in this budgetary environment we're in. Number two is reliability and security. Really important that we have Canadian data centers that really supports us. I mean, being Canadian, we run into so many projects where everyone, once it gets to IT, where is your data? And knowing that it's in Canada on AWS servers makes it very easy. And then lastly, it's the speed, right? How many projects with all the chip shortages and all the delays in the industry, if we can get away with using old displays or getting product quickly, that can help a ton. No, super exciting solution. And again, all available on datavisual.ca.